Everybody blowing me up with their getting in trouble before field trip stories on the app and on the voicemail. And
Ninth grade. Oh, sorry, this is Nick from Akron. Ninth grade, I got into a fight in the middle of the day, so technically 2.5 days before spring break, and the marching band was set to go to Disney. So the administration gave me a choice. Pre or post-date my suspension, which in other words, I had to take a test or go to Disney. Guess what I picked?
It cut off before he was able to tell us.
Go to Disney. I think
Oh my God, I hate cliffhangers like that.
Where did he say it was from?
Akron.
You know what? That reminds me. Cuyahoga Falls is near Akron.
Oh, God.
I'm recording a comedy special there, September 2nd.
He's doing yoga. He's really throwing his back out over here, boy.
You're going to get him in where you can.
You're going to dislocate your shoulder with that stretch.
Just on my...
Go ahead, do it.
Yeah. Funny Stop Comedy Club, September 2nd and 3rd. Bill Squire, comedy special taping.
Get those tickets. That's Labor Day weekend. Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness.
BillSquire.com.
Well, that'll be very exciting.
Alan, you guys were talking about concert shirts and how expensive they are. And 2015, right after I turned 18, me and some buddies went and saw the Stones at the Horseshoe down in Columbus. Well, as we're walking to the stadium, some guy with about 2 teeth in his mouth on the side of the road yells over, "Hey, you guys going to the concert?" It's about all we understood from him. The rest was gibberish, and then we said, yeah, sure. Followed him down an alleyway, which was not safe, and bought T-shirts off the guy for $20 for the concert. Then my buddies proceeded to yell at me for wanting to wear them, which I thought was ridiculous and stupid.
How the NOLAN remerges RN while the university or the UN mission as whole received support from all parties in the hues of the Garbins of today. Excuse me.
That guy turned 18 in 2015.
I know.
Jesus Christ. Oh, you magnificent son of a bitch. Well, I'll tell you what. It's been talked to death, admittedly, but not a whole lot of people in sports media coming to Deshaun Watson's aid. I thought that in that world, that there would be a series of hot takes that were more along the lines of the innocent until proven guilty. That's what a lot of people who are, not necessarily pro.
They're out there.
Oh, no, I understand. but again, I mean, that's kind of what those people are hanging their hats on. Mm-hmm. But there's not a lot of that out there in the people who talk sports for a living. A lot of them are like, yeah, this guy, even the judge admitted that this guy did a bunch of bad stuff in handing down this 6-game suspension, which seems to be the main point of contention here. One guy said, there's no such thing as nonviolent sexual assault in 2022. It's like this old school mentality about how to, My girl Sarah Spain. You know who Sarah Spain is?
Yeah.
She does a lot of stuff for ESPN. Born in Cleveland, grew up in Chicago. I worked with her a lot when I was with the WNBA. And she had the take that you might expect her to have. This is a league that has a horrific record on sexual violence. And they thought that this would be the one that would present a compelling case against Deshaun Watson. But, people are pointing out that even the judge in this case is like, look, some really bad stuff went down here, but blah, blah, blah. It's very clear that he was using massage therapists as prostitutes, Tony Kornheiser said. Is he the bald dude with the goatee?
Yep.
Okay.
From Pardon the Interruption.
PTI. That's right. So, yeah, not a lot of people. Again, long term, is this going to have any? I don't think so. This is in the people. It comes in stages, right? I mean, it's people were waiting for this decision, and then they got the decision, and they seem uniformly upset about it, and then everybody will move on. Because sadly, in professional sports, someone else will take his place. Someone else will supplant Deshaun Watson as the bad guy in sports for the week or the month or the quarter or whatever. Because the judge essentially agreed with the league that he had done some gross stuff. So but that kind of did surprise me that there weren't, at least not the people that I've seen. I mean, I was kind of trying to take the temperature of people who do that for a living. I can't imagine a worse career than having to talk about sports for a living. But I'm not wired that way. So I have to defer to people who really know how those things work, because I'm just a casual fan. But I thought that there was going to be, I had expected a bit more back and forth on it, I guess. And doesn't seem to be too much of that. People like to throw Robert Kraft out. I think we had a call from a guy who was like, well, Robert Kraft, he got caught. He was in a... True. But, I mean, Robert Kraft seemed to be a regular at one particular place. And he was on camera, too. And he's an owner. He's a rich guy. And I think that's the issue that people take umbrage with the people who are really in charge, the league or the owners or whatever. You know, if you're playing on the Cleveland Browns, your only concern is winning games. You know, if you're another person on that team, it's your job to win games. And so, you know, if this guy's going to help you win games, that's your livelihood. Your bonus structure, whatever that is, as a player on any, you know, your bonuses are tied into winning games.
Not if you're Deshaun Watson. It's all guaranteed.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to.
I'm
win
talking
any
about
games.
the other guys, right? I think people expect like athletes to like take a stand. Just don't kneel. Take a stand for something like this. Like, this is their livelihood. Everybody else on that team, like, their job is to go out and win games, and if this guy's going to help them do it, he's putting money in their pockets and food in their kids' mouths. And if you're Antonio Cromartie, that's a lot of kids.
It's a lot of kids.
A lot of kids.
So many kids.
You think
like
you
13?
Can't keep them straight. Neither can he.
Wasn't it like 13 or something? It was a lot.
Yeah, he's got to call that a Mayfield's dozen. So, you know, Alan, I can't wait for the first Deshaun Watson touchdown celebration. Why? I don't know.
I'm telling you, this is going to be... We're going to go to the Super Bowl. It's just Cleveland's luck. We have to have something. Like,
but now we have a backup quarterback for 6 games, though.
But 6 games is 6 games.
But we can't go to the Super Bowl if we don't win those 6 games with our second-string quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
just
not
saying,
gonna happen.
while Deshaun Watson is on our team, we are going to go to the Super Bowl. Like, that will be our blessing and our curse. We prayed for this for decades. Cleveland's finally going to get what they want. They want to go. We may not win, but we're going to go to the Super Bowl. But downside?
No, but that's that's not the concern. That's the problem that a lot of people have. Is that's the calculus they're counting on. That's what the organization is trying to do.
Right. And that's what
everything else got
care
put
about more than anything else.
Everything else got put to the side for that very reason.
I'm sorry, but it's going to work. If that's the case, all will be forgiven. All will be forgotten.
But
no. It won't.
Yes,
no,
it will.
because I'm never cheering for him again.
It absolutely won't be forgotten, and it won't be forgiven. It will be, here's a team that began the season with so much controversy, and even though that's not all figured out, through the season, you're going to hear guys talking about how much he's grown and evolved as a person and as a player. You know what I mean? It's good.
Yeah,
everybody
gotta
wants
put some spin on it.
Everybody wants everything to be Seabiscuit. So, yeah, that's what. If these guys go to the Super Bowl. Now, if you want maximum Browns, they'll go to the Super Bowl and lose badly.
Doesn't matter. This will be the closest we've ever gotten.
It always matters if you go to the final game and lose.
But
The Cubs lost
hurts a lot.
Right.
Just getting
The
there.
Indians lost against the Cubs. And I was rooting for the Indians because I'm a White Sox fan. I was in World Series. Everybody assumed I was rooting for the Cubs. No, I'm not a Cubs fan.
I feel like I kind of know your feelings on this, but I just want to get Bill's feelings on, will you look at people differently if they cheer and if we go to the Super Bowl and people are cheering like for the Browns? They're saying, I've waited for this my entire life. I don't care who gets us there as long as we get there. Are you going to look at people differently? Are you going to judge them?
No, I've said the things that I've said where
But that was just regular him playing for the Browns. I'm saying if we get to the Super Bowl, can you understand people's excitement?
I absolutely can.
Okay.
But I've said I will not cheer for the Browns anymore.
You're not
And
going to watch
that's
Super
all
Bowl?
I've said. I don't. If somebody else wants to continue cheering for the Browns, they can do whatever they want. I just can't do it anymore. I can't look at that guy on the team and feel pride in that team. And so if other people are doing that, they're able to look past it. They're able to do whatever. I don't know their justification or their reasoning. They can do that, and I don't look at them as being bad people because I know how much the team and the sports mean to people. But for me, I'm just not able to do it. So I'm not going to judge people for doing it. I do think it's weird.
There's also
when people
52
are-
other guys
Right,
on
exactly.
the team.
There are people that are very combative about it, and like they try to like rub it in my face that he only got 6 games. I'm like, I don't. That's not any of concern to me. When they made the signing or when they made that trade, that's when I was out.
Okay.
It wasn't about the
But Bill-
suspension or anything like
And
that.
also, these trolls, you're not a judge. You
Right.
have nothing to do with the
Right.
length of his suspension. It's not like you
Yeah.
put in a call and they said, okay, Frank called us.
Right.
Okay, but this isn't a justification. This is just a comparison. What if it was? What if one of your movies that you love so much or that you were gonna go see was directed by like a perv director, like Woody Allen or something? Would you feel
Jeepers Creepers.
Would you feel the same? Would you not go see that movie because it has
It depends,
a
but probably
creepy
not.
director? Okay,
People don't
Like
have
if it's something, and if it's something that's coming out,
like a Star Wars or something.
and it's produced, and they find out right before it's released that
It has just as many allegations
the
as
director
Deshaun
was.
Watson.
Yeah, then I'd be like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to support this.
Okay, I'm just saying
pretty
'cause-
big on not like I don't like to support people that are accused of.
But I feel like I'm Fox News, but there is a slippery slope. You can do that for
What's
any.
the slippery slope, though?
But I'm saying you can do that for anything. You
Sexual
can just,
assault is not a slippery slope.
I'm not saying sexual assault is a slippery slope. I'm
And
saying
people don't have the same emotional attachment to pop culture items as they do to sports teams. For better,
some do,
But anyone could be
but you know what I'm
accused of
saying?
anything.
For
do.
better or worse, nobody's out there like, my grandfather was a George Lucas fan, my dad was a George Lucas fan, and goddamn it, I'm a George Lucas movie fan.
Yeah, but there's people that are
Nobody's-
like, Star Wars is so important to me. That's why whenever they come out with something new, like when they came out with the Obi-Wan series, there were people that didn't like a black girl that was on the show, and they were horrendous to her because they thought she was sullying their.
But I don't think of those as like real Star Wars fans.
But I'm saying they do.
I guess I don't even know what that means. But I
Right.
mean, Darth Vader's black. Like, what's the guy who does the? I mean, I'm being semi jokey. The guy who does his voice is black. Mm-hmm. There's nothing white about Darth Vader except what's his name, Hayden Christensen, and he's all burned up anyway. You don't even know who's in there.
He was black for a little bit after the lava got him.
How about that
Hey.
Andor? You watch that Andor trailer?
Yeah, it looks cool.
It looks cool, but boy, they're doing a deep dive on every possible character they have in this friggin' universe. Between Star Wars and Marvel and everything else, they're like, hey, we got a guy. What?
Should have
Juan
Juan Soto.
Yeah, Juan Soto and the Star Wars universe.
No, I mean it's like I don't like listening to Michael Jackson music. I don't listen to R. Kelly music. And not that I listen to it all that much
You're gonna
anyway.
end up with no joy in life.
I have plenty of joy.
You mean you don't watch your comfort television is not watching Surviving R. Kelly on a loop
It is
like
not.
Poundcake?
It is happens to not be.
I'm just saying the park that you could have your kids play in one day literally could be designed by a perv. You're not going to play in that park because it was designed by a perv. A house that you live in.
What is a park that's designed by a perv? What does that mean?
No, I'm just saying anything anything you hold near and dear can be tainted by
Yes,
allegations
absolutely.
or something.
Of course.
So do you not get to enjoy?
That's why there can be so few hard, fast rules. So if Bill goes, given the information I have,
Right.
I can't in good conscience root for this team. That makes sense. If you've been going to a dog park your whole life and then you find out that the guy who created it is a sexual
But
predator.
he's also not making money off of the dog park.
Right.
We don't know how dog parks can be very lucrative,
How?
Mary. Very lucrative. It's just pure profit. It's like owning a car park. It's just pure. You buy the land. It's just pure profit. You're charging people to get in there. Once they're in, you're selling them poop bags. There's dog merch. They're meeting other dogs. Those dogs collude on whatever the latest, I watched that League of Super Pets thing. Crypto. That's one big subliminal advertisement for cryptocurrency.
I just think
Cody, I agree with you, and to Alan's point that people don't care about things like they care about sports. A friend of mine is a huge Browns fan, still going to watch the Browns. He's one of those. He wasn't proven guilty of anything, so he's an innocent man when it comes to Deshaun Watson. But he's not a huge country music fan. So any guy, namely Blake Shelton and Jason Aldean, who have openly cheated on their wives, he's like, oh, that dude's a piece of trash. He cheated on his wife,
But
and I'm like,
did they openly cheat on their wife? They got caught. I don't think they were like.
Luke Bryan
well,
cheated
Blake
on his
Shelton
wife?
didn't try to hide it
Oh, okay.
at all.
All right. Well, I
Blake
didn't know.
Shelton was with Gwen Stefani when he was still with Miranda Lambert.
I don't know.
Anyway,
the details.
but-
So they both cheated.
So, yeah.
And
but
that makes
so,
good country music songs, if you're going to be honest.
But I had to call him out where I was like, you can't say that. You can't enjoy the NFL and then not agree with a country star cheating on his wife, because the NFL is one of the worst organizations when it comes to treatment of women.
Or
But he
covering
cares-
stuff up.
But he cares so much about football that he's willing
Yes,
to
you overlook it.
more.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's
it
where
is.
I'm saying, like,
That's human nature.
I don't care about football that much to just, like, I can't turn on a game, see Deshaun Watson doing well, and think of anything else. So I just go, I'm not going to do it. And I know it's a case by case basis, but like I said, if you want to continue to cheer for the Browns, I completely understand that too, because it's very hard in this city to not get wrapped up in it. Especially if they start winning. If they start winning, not for somebody that was already a fan, you're not a sports fan, but for me, if they start winning, like, I'm gonna have to check myself and not get back into it. But
And that's the thing, though.
It's just bothers me. But I'm also not coming from a situation where, like I was saying, like my dad, I'm the only real Browns fan in my family. I'm no, like, my one older brother and my one younger brother, they're casual football fans. I was the biggest sports fan. So it's not like this family tradition of cheering for the Browns.
And now you can start your own tradition of passing along your San Diego, L.A. Charger fandom.
Yeah, that's right.
See,
L.A. Chargers.
My problem is I'm a huge fan of Nick Chubb, who is still a Browns player. I want
As I
to
said,
watch.
there's 52 other
Yeah,
guys.
I love Nick Chubb. I
love him too. I
want to
love
watch him. I want
Myles
to
Garrett.
see him do
Yeah.
well. Yeah, Myles Garrett, Kareem Hunt. I mean, I want to watch these guys, but at the same time, I am not super comfortable supporting the quarterback, which is what I said a couple months ago when I was like, I'm doing the math and the gymnastics in my head of trying to cheer for a team without supporting the quarterback. You know what I mean? So
Nick Chubb! Hasta la vista, baby! Nick Chubb! Touchdown!
You also have to hope, too, that Dows are the only thing he's touching.
right.
You know? That's what you hate to see when you have somebody, you know, when you somebody that you think is beyond reproach, and then something comes out, and they go, "Oh." It's like if you've been a Steeler fan for a long time, right? When I lived in Pittsburgh, I moved there in '99. Ben Roethlisberger, I think, got there. It was Tommy Maddox.
2004 was when Roethlisberger got there.
Oh, okay. I thought he got there earlier than that. So I was there for a few years before Ben Roethlisberger got there, and he pretty quickly had been accused of some stuff. And a lot of people looked past it as soon as he started winning games. Because we had Tommy Maddox, we had Cordell Stewart, who people liked him until he started losing, and then he was gay. Mm-hmm. Cordell Stewart was gay. And then he went to the Bears, and I got to root for him on my own team. But Ben Roethlisberger had a pretty checkered personal life there in Pittsburgh, and people love that guy.
And a lot of Browns fans
brought
would
them championships.
always make fun of that and throw it in Pittsburgh fans' faces.
And they're so creative. They'd say, "Oh, rapist burger," because it's, you know,
Right.
get it? You see what they did there? No, you don't connect it. Okay, well,
What's the?
you know, it's you'll just Google it.
Listen, all I know is, and Charlie Daniels said it, you don't put your hands on a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
The Charlie Daniels, or just like a guy you know named Charlie Daniels?
Of the
Hands
Charlie
or hams?
Daniels band.
Your hams. Don't put your hams.
Just go and lay your hand on a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Right? You're not supposed to do that.
They say you shouldn't do that.
Song's called In America. You've heard that song. Don't lay your hand on a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. You like Charlie Daniels.
I know a Charlie Daniels.
This is a guy who
song.
followed, by the way, and he had the wherewithal to write a song about it. This is a guy who followed the devil all the way to Georgia. The song is about the devil going to Georgia. Somebody had to accompany him to give his account.
Yeah, but he was already in Georgia.
The devil went down to Georgia.
The devil went down
Charlie
to Georgia.
Daniels followed the devil to
you're
Georgia.
saying in order to write the song.
Yes.
Charlie Daniels was an onlooker.
Everybody thinks Charlie Daniels is this like redneck, right? He was summering in Maine. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you know it? Right there at the Bangor grocery. The devil. Checking out, right? Ground Zero. You read Stephen King, you know. Goes all the way down to Georgia.
Looking for a soul to steal, I heard.
That's right. Now this Dustin. I know what you're talking about. I seen the
Georgia
devil.
ain't that bad.
Yeah. You don't put your hand on a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Sorry, fingers bleeding.
I took a big old swaller out of it, and I was like, uh-oh.
That's right.
Why is your finger bleeding?
Because I had a
picking at
hangnail
your
and I pulled it.
cuticles?
Yeah, I had a hangnail and I pulled it. Now it's bleeding, Bill.
Ouch. That's not fun.
Being such a nosy Nancy. I had blood drawn this morning.
Where'd it go?
Uh,
Or did
drew
you
it?
draw a picture of it?
no, it was a
Did
charcoal.
Nora draw some blood?
It was charcoal relief. What's that?
I don't know if if Nora's going through like a phase where she likes to draw blood.
No, she's not doing that.
Okay.
I've got a break. If you want a couple of tickets for Rise Against, one of Mary's very favorite bands, right? They're playing with the Used and Census Fail. They come through in a couple of weeks, August 17th, down at Jacobs Pavilion. So we'll get you a couple of tickets after the break to go to that show. If you want to text for anything else, 35192, and we'll be back.